Hello everyone, this is just going to be a video on our presentation on the effects projects that we completed for project number 3. You will enhance your presentation and public speaking skills as you present the research that you find for project number 3. Remember, this should be on a topic of your choice, and you will have a thesis statement that outlines its 3 effects. The presentation should be no longer than 7 minutes, but no shorter than 5 minutes. You will introduce your research-based topic. You might begin your presentation by describing some of the topic's problems and solutions out there, who is affected by the topic, how it works, when it started. In other words, just pertinent background information. You would likely find this information from a source because this is a research-based project, so you would feel free to cite that both in the presentation and in the paper itself, because of course this will be from the introduction. Next, you're going to briefly introduce the class to your 3-point thesis statement, which should entail 3 effects from research. You will then elaborate for the majority of the presentation on one of the effects of your choosing. I encourage you to pick an effect that you found to be maybe the most interesting. If it's an effect that you had more than one paragraph for, that would be great because you likely can really emphasize how research demonstrates this effect throughout the entire presentation. You will be required to answer questions from classmates at the end of the presentation, so please just be prepared to do so. Really quickly, I wanted to remind you all of a reading we had as well that you should have bookmarked, I hope, on presentation tips. It also opens in a really awesome PDF if you click here. Just remember that this is a really great source to kind of go over all the different ways you can create a comfortable environment for yourself as you public speak. Believe in the importance of your message. Make sure you consider having water available to you as you present. And then, of course, you want to proofread your presentation the same way that you do any other material. Right? There's one note here. I noted this in our weekly work, but just about how important it is to actually visualize yourself giving a good speech. Believe you can do it and try your best to see the value in public speaking and sharing your presentation with audiovisual materials, visuals, technology. These are strengths in the workforce today. So hopefully you will keep a positive attitude about it. Excuse me. The next thing I wanted to note is just that you should be prepared to incorporate some type of creative visual into the presentation. Now, this can be absolutely anything. For instance, I had a student who presented on women's rights in Iran and its effects, and he actually came in wearing the dress that women wear in Iran. So you could consider something very creative like that, or you could kind of think about your visual, as I note at the bottom of the document, as being something like a PowerPoint that you're talking the class through, maybe even a chart or a series of charts that you found in one of your sources or diagrams. Tables with statistics, you could also create these yourself to highlight some of the key points from the research that you have found. Be prepared, though, to smoothly integrate your visual into the presentation, whether it's one that supplements you the entire time, the way that this Word document is me as I take time to make this audible argument or instructional video. Or it could be something that just comes in maybe later in the presentation for impact and effect. This is just a time management plan to receive a good grade on the assignment. Now, of course, it should be evident that you practiced and that you were clearly setting things up in a logical order. So if you look here, I've said to first present your topic to the class with essential background information that they need to know regarding who this issue affects and how. That will take a few minutes, right? Maybe 1 to 2. And then you will present your thesis to the class. Now, you can feel free to just read this the way you had it in the assignment. Remember, it should be very concise. So it should state again that your topic is an important issue in some way, as well as the fact that there are 3 different effects of this topic. Next, as I noted before, the majority of your presentation is going to be you elaborating on the research you found of the effect that was most important to you or most intriguing. You will then explain the effects of this topic, or how this effect specifically, rather, comes to life in research. That's really important. So, how does this effect come to life in research? You want to provide lots of research to show, for instance, depression is an effect of cyberbullying. This is this proof that shows such. Remember, this paper and project is not at all about our own experiences. It all has to be rooted in research. I have noted here just some tips and reminders about ways that you can practice. Make sure that you consider things like recording yourself and listening to it back, practicing for peers, family members, friends, and loved ones, and then also taking the time to listen to your presentation back if you actually record it so that you can hear it in a new way. Please let me know if you have any questions about your visual or any aspect of the presentation, and I'm super excited to start and see these and have these conversations about the research that we found. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope this video was useful.